Hello and welcome to Top of the World. What a beautiful morning. I know this is going to confuse a couple of you, so I'll explain it. I'm going to unload them with the forklift like I did the last time, and I've got 2 poles. I've got construction, and I've got firewood. Top's got a firewood, bottoms, middles, sometimes the second section up goes for construction. The reason I'm going to unload this with a forklift is because this tractor here, you have to run this way harder than I like to get the hydraulic pump running well enough to be able to semi-lift these big ones. Right? You can't do a straight lift with them, it won't lift it. It's not powerful enough. So you have to kind of jiggle it on. And then by the time I've messed around doing that, right, with this running flat out, and I've jiggled around and moved between the 2 poles here, right, this will lift 10, 15, 20 times the weight that crane will, and it does it on tick over. So is this tractor, the 2254, using a lot of diesel? Yeah. Is it running at quite high revs for a diesel engine? Yeah, it is. So we let that cool down, and then we'll use a lot less diesel, albeit with a bigger engine, with this. Right, and I'll put up with this ain't working very well because I ain't got to jiggle him in and off. This will just pick them up, 2 of them, 4 of them, 8 of them. It will just pick them up, and it works better. Some of you've noticed that they're breeding. Right. Ignore the little go-kart tractor. Right, that's a Massey Ferguson. That will be featuring in another series of videos because that is my friend's that caught fire, and we're going to do a rebuild on that and give him his tractor back. So let's not get distracted with all that. How is this? Right, pulling them out. Yeah, it's having a moment with the gearbox, the gear stick. I don't know what that is, but anyway, yeah, it's just doing its thing. There's quite a lot of weight on there, really. And the ground's not that soft, but I'm just aware, I'm just tickling her out. We haven't had any moments yet at all. So this is the second load out, and yeah, I'm very impressed. Alright, so I'm deep in the middle of the mess I've created here. Now, when I was dropping these trees, I was dropping them, obviously the snow was on the ground. You don't see so many of the old stumps, and there are a lot of old stumps in this area. There's also a lot of old trees that were dropped who knows when. And anyway, so I dropped in the direction that the tree wanted to go and for minimal amount of damage. Take this one here, for example. Right, it missed that one, missed that bunch of little ones there, and I dropped it between that lot. So that was my task. And when you're dropping it in the snow, it all looks quite simple. Anyway, I've got myself in a tangle here. There's four here I've cleaned up, but they all cross each other. And as I'm finding out, when you're in this scenario, the winch missing off of the forest trailer it's a really big thing, because it takes ages to claw and crane all these, and I'm sure it's not doing all the joints on the crane any good at all. Anyway, here I am, and we're going to try and clear these using that method. My only other solution, as most of you all know, is to go and get the Land Cruiser and sit that and start winching. Well, there's two issues with that. I want to do as little dragging as I can, right, so I don't disturb and damage the ground cover, and get sand and grit in the trees and have another vehicle down here. So fortunately, I would like, the rear tyres on the tractor are due for replacement. I'd like to get some wider ones, because these have got a really light footprint, and the fronts are okay. I'd just like to get a little wider tyre if I could on the back there when I replace them. It's not bad, considering how still spongy the floor is. Anyway, you got one coming through there, two crossing it, and one down there. So let's see if we can get this lot out of here. According to the timer on the camera, I've got insects down my back. Oh, there's some nasty things out here. According to the timer on my camera, right, that's an hour and 30 minutes. And I've still got the middle and bottom section of that one there, but I have to stop and have coffee now. Also, the entire time for that hour and 30 minutes, that tractor's running like that. So that means that the calculation I did on how much it costs to collect each tree is wrong. Wrong on time, wrong on cost of diesel, wrong on cost of equipment, and pulling like that is going to shorten the lifespan of the joints on the crane, albeit the tractor's designed to rev like that all day. Can you imagine? What you don't want to do is do that and then turn it off, because the heat build up in the block, there's no way of dissipating, and then it will heat up and shorten the life of the engine and the block as well. So you have to let it tick over, and the wind is still coming through, cooling the water, which will cool the block, and it'll all settle down and I can switch it off and have coffee. So an hour and 30 minutes, that's a long time, Simon. It is a long time to collect that much wood in minus 20 on a snowmobile. 2 days. 2 days. Right, and that's if something don't break, I don't have an accident, and could I get that in 2 days? Yeah, I could get that in 2 days. So that's 2 days on the snowmobile in the winter, or an hour and a half. What can I hear? Or an hour and a half, a little bit of pottering around, a little bit of lever pulling. Am I sweating? Yeah, because it's hot. Is it? What do I mean it's hot? Well, it's not minus 20, is what I mean. So, we're going to have coffee now and let that cool down, then I'll pull that last one over, and then, you know, that's just those couple of trees there. Because they're nice and tall, you get the bottom 5 metres, then they get the next section of 5 metres. Most of these, I've got a 5 metre section on top, and then the tip for firewood. So, you know, it looks like a lot, but that's 4 trees, that is. So, it's not a lot. But I have miscalculated the cost of collection. So how much I don't know, I'll have to work it out really when I've gone through this tank of diesel. Yeah, I've miscalculated collection. Okay, coffee. Well, here's a quick update after what I said. The battery's all but flat. So I've got those last two on from over there, that last bottom section, which was 2 sections. And as the diesel gauge moved, not a lot, pretty much where it was when I got here, give or take a bit. So that's taken in all, so call it 2 hours I've been in this spot here. And that's 2 days on the snowmobile. 1000cc gasoline engine would have taken half a tank, 2.5 gallons, 8, 9, 10 litres. Has that used 2.5 gallons, 10 litres of diesel? No, it hasn't. So, anyway, where am I with that? I don't know. I'm going back to the yard now, get this lot off. So, 4 properties. Today's the last day. So there's been 6 days collecting this. Those of you that know you are, thank you very much. A huge shout out to Bride, he won't mind me mentioning his name. I've done a lot of filming on his property, he don't mind me filming. Not everybody likes the camera. So that's everything in, and that's just a start. There is one unfortunate thing about this, is there's a very small window between when the snow melts and the ground still being frozen, and that's when I have to go in with a tractor, and it's my first season with using that in a number of places. Last year was our first season using it, and we was on that property with all the big timber. Anyway, so this window is very small, and during the wet period you don't travel on the forest tracks because it's too wet. So when I started at the beginning of this week, the snow had melted but the ground was still frozen, and I was kind of gliding over the top. With the temperatures yesterday and today, do you know, have I said this already? Anyway, the permafrost melted and I made a few tracks which I'm going to have to go back and repair. Other than that, great. So it's big shout out to Brian, because he contributed largely to this. Right, it's not gifts, I've earned this, but he allowed me to do the deal with him. How did it work out on cost overall? Do you know, I'm not sure, but I didn't get bitten in the backside as much as I thought I was going to with diesel and the tractor versus gasoline and the snowmobile, which I was on just 2 weeks ago. So this is just, you know, this is how it is. Anyway, that's just the start of it, because now it's got to be sawn up. So some cants, some boards, some sidings, I've got to mill that lot now. But anyway, it's in the yard, which means it's more controlled. Tractor and forest trailer, Skogswagen all did really good job. Everything is good. That has been an epic week, and I have had enough. I am absolutely shattered. So there we go. Something that I might want to add is because you know, some of the old boys, Dave, like to take the piss with me and my ducks, you know, Mr. Magoo, and anyway, put my chickens outside, my little ones. So I have to thank Mikkel for this one, right? And I know you're watching, Mikkel, because he let me take the small chicken house, and all I had to do was build a run on it just to get the little ones outside. The big ones are going to follow, but not in this enclosure. Hello, girls. There you go. Look at the size of them. How you doing, girls? So this is my chicken with only one wing. You might be able to see it, actually. Oh no, it's just focusing on the wire. And she's got 6 babies. And look at the size of them. They're like little eagles. Hang on, here, have another go. Like little worms. I know what they will have. They've discovered grass. They love grass. Anyway, I'll knock this up quick on a couple of rails with a rope at the front, and I made a couple of brackets for some wheels out of the concrete things, you know, that you put in, that you put the posts up, you'll know. There, like that. And that just allows me to pick it up, and I can just pull it around and put them on some grass. Well, what grass, Simon? You've only got gravel. I have only got gravel. I can see some green coming though. I can see some grass. There you go. You can see the grass coming. Right, and that is going to conclude this video, because I don't know how long this video is going to be. I've been filming it for... Anyway, if you like the content, thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, consider it. Click that button. Right, it's completely free. Really helps the algorithm and YouTube, and, you know, it's all for the greater good. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.